this is older than me by at least a decade. Right.
He's kept it pretty fucking.
He's still well. He's still very well. This is, I think I was born in 2003, so this is 10, 15 years older than me. It's crazy.
Oh, so he's from like the early 2000s.
No, but this is from the 90s. I reckon this is a decade older than me. I feel like one of those old 90s films. I feel like, is it Glenn Hoddle? I'm about to drop David Beckham for a while. Retrofit. I feel like Terry Venables or something. He used to manage England. Prime Robson.
What was that Scandinavian guy?
Sven Eriks. He was England's first foreign manager. And then we had Stephen Clacker. And then we had Fabio Capello. Capello was hilarious. He was hilarious. We crashed out of the World Cup with the golden generation. Lampard scored versus Germany. Just hide it. Gerrard, Scholes, Rooney. Centre-back very good. John Terry and Ron Foley.
One of my favorites.
It pains me that they can't be.
Right back. He was the left. Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole was so good. Arsenal fans adore Ashley Cole. They know what he is. Ashley.
They had Chelsea had a team that played with Andy Cole.
Oh, Joe Cole.
Joe Cole, sorry.
Joe Cole.
One of my absolute favorite. I don't know why. Yes, I would always pick him.
He scored one goal in the World Cup against Sweden. So he chested it down from 30 yards, caught it on the volley, and I was like, when I was growing up, that was the best goal I'd ever seen. Until I saw Ibrahimovic score that bicycle kick from halfway.
Insane goal.
That was stupid.
Only Ibrahimovic can hit. Simataki, as he says. He's the only player who was first from third person. And rightly so, he made it. They are milking like sort of celebrities these days for the World Cup. Everyone is dropping like the videos of Simataki.
Do you know what? Do you know what the thing is, right? If I was having this, I'd get Zidane and Beckham in there too. I am 100%. Beckham, yeah, for sure. Because it's in America. He owns it to Miami.
Celebrities.
I only find it funny. I don't mind when they do it on racetracks, like the Texas one at Coulter. That's good because it's a racetrack.
That's fine. It's Miami one is the one.
Miami's a circus.
I don't know.
With the fake marinas.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Well, it's Monaco. Are you an F1 guy?
I started to.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
I hope he wins his own Grand Prix. Now that he's got one, no shame.
Nuts. But Hamilton somehow was racing.
It's not just the Hamilton talks. I think Ferrari actually is a lot stronger than Ferrari.
Mercedes seems to be pushing back to all of
He's what, 18, 19 years old? Yeah. He's ridiculous.
He's so famous that my sister was not into anything. Sports related.
And George Russell. George Russell. This was supposed to be his year. It was supposed to be his year this year, George Russell. The 1 year Mercedes back him finally is the number one. And they've given him the car to win a championship. Antonelli's just smoking him. But he will look at it. Oscar was doing the same to him last year. Mercedes will manage him. McLaren
Mercedes are just a beast. Looking forward to this race. Looking forward to what? 2 weeks, I think we have it.
Yeah, from Hanging this weekend. It's a great time for this one. So Monaco this weekend. World Cup starts on Friday.
It's good.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Saturday, NPL.
Wait 4 years or something like this. Saturday. On an afternoon that was looking a bit miserable. It's not bright though.
You can see the clouds coming in.
And not just Saturday NPL. NPL are one of the prettiest grounds. I love the creek in the background. I love the little stand. Do you know how it feels? It feels very English.
Yeah.
It feels like an English local club.
Sunday week.
It feels Wiltshire Prem. It really does. I've been to a couple of grounds in the
Those are the best. I was at Craven Cottage. Watched Fulham versus
Is it
Liverpool. Liverpool was outside Crouch. I was ground level. It was been dumped in.
Oh, this is the old cottage. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is ages ago.
This was in 2004.
Do you know what? I don't know it's still there. You're basically on the touchline. Up on the. It's ridiculous.
It's a strange thing because when you're at that level, there are some people around.
He's huge. He looks like 12 feet tall. Yeah, I know. He looks massive. And the thing is, like, you go to the other grounds, you go to Goodison and Anfield. They're not Dublin. Like all of these other grounds, I think they wanted to keep the initial grass, and then they had to break the grass into like more seniors because it was just pure standing. Way back in the day. So I think my dad and my granddad were going to Everton for years, and they said Goodison used to be standing. Amazing fun.
Yeah, they're new going to Everton.
Don't mind it. Everton need to get their act together and start winning games.
Just happy they deployed this city.
Do you know what I miss? And this is where my season ticket was at Everton too. That big towering stand, the big main stand at Goodison Park, towering over the other ones. I miss it so much. It's like a killer right in the middle of the viewpoint. Just like this massive beam just in the middle of the viewpoint. You can't not.
Perfect. We just have this for the rest of the
Just give us this for the rest of the months. Let's go around to get to work.
forget something. Anyways, whenever you're away, I guess as soon as they log on or something,
That's what I usually do. I wait for the first time. Team. Alamein submitted their team. Good afternoon, wherever you are watching in Victoria, across the nation or around the world, and welcome out to Alamein on a climactically turbulent Saturday afternoon out in the southeast. We are reaching that stage of the season where points are starting to feel heavier when dropped and as if their value is doubled once collected. Today, for Alamein, is one of those days. A frustrating fortnight on the road, righted by the remedy of 3 points against Keeler Park and a bit of cup success as well. Another victory today would take them level on points with Boroondara and momentarily within sight of the top four itself. Melbourne City stopped a rot of 4 rather heavy defeats in a row with a point at Spring Hills last Friday night. Still 7 from safety,
They know that time is just starting to become a bit of a factor in the quest for the kind of salvation sought by survival. When they met earlier on in the campaign, Alamein were victorious emphatically on an early April afternoon out in Casey. What a Saturday we have ahead of us. What a day it promises to be out in this little pocket of the southeast on the runoff of the Monash Freeway. My name's Ethan Rigg. This promises to be an important match in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Women's. At both ends of the table, Alamein can keep themselves well and truly in the finals hunt. For Melbourne City, the steer towards safety perhaps begins now. As we approach kickoff, we will take you through the starting lineups for the hosts who have been in fine touch here this season. Estelle Bougias, Shinatsu Shidara, Anna Leakopoulos, Jessica Shilton, Dakota Tyson. Newly crowned Player of the Month, Niamh Dustin, Samalaski, who's been in good form in front of goal, Emma Runnels, Zoe Horton, Priya Arkdekan and Miranda Templeman. For Melbourne City, the travelling side set to hopefully steer themselves back towards brighter shores. Dali Gore Birchmore, Kira Saris, Chelsea Biggs, Isabella Racco, Sienna Calvanese, Mary Brown, Ella Hamilton, Hami Marandola, Ella Duhau, Cornelia Loss and Layla Habib. And so, one team eyeing up the top four, already eyeing the opportunity to better where they were this time 12 months ago. And a City side who know that the quest for safety must start now. Bentley Green's win last night over Burundara maybe just has them looking over their shoulder a little bit more tentatively. The gap that was 7 is now 4. 6 adrift of Keeler Park, hovering just above the dreaded drop zone. 7 from safety itself. Important afternoon for them. Important afternoon for Alamein. They can draw level on points with Burundara. Two sides who have had two very telling tales this season. Two very different ones at that. And the hosts who have found a lot of joy here this season, wanting to continue on one of the league's better home runs. As Leakopoulos and Burundara, that defeat last night, it just has opened the door for Alamein to gain some ground. And Dustin linking up with Lasky, looking to do it with immediacy. Clipped into Runnels, whose effort was nodded off target. Have made this place a fortress in this campaign. That victory, another of 6 straight at home in the league. Haven't dropped a point here in 2026. One of the best home records in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Women's. They will be eager to continue that 100% record. It's been a real catalyst for their surge up the table. Where for Melbourne City, it's been a torrid run on the road. A singular point picked up on their travels. Only Bentley towards, and only Bentley at the league's foot, have picked up fewer. There'd be no better time to change that today. You get the sense this afternoon in particular, one of importance. They've had a lot of joy in the cup of Melbourne City. Hasn't quite transpired to the league in this season. There's a challenge from Dustin. Judged to be a foul. Clipped out for Tahau. City looking to cause an early issue. Habib. Runnels went to get a foot in. Habib tried to cause more of a battle. Dustin now. Leakopoulos. Calmly on for Shidara. Again, steered it long towards Runnels. Nodded on for Horton. Habib went to make life difficult. Arctican picked it up well. Tyson set it back for Shidara. Leakopoulos, those two have had quite a good season at the back. Not only have they made home games a fortress, when they've won, they've often kept clean sheets. They've been a side who have had their success built on rock-solid defensive defiance more than anything. As Bugias. Lovely tiptoe away. Rolled it on for Runnels, who clipped it on for Horton. That's a lovely ball too. Horton's first opportunity to get in behind. And Howe did well. Calvanese. Those two pressed, Bugias and Horton. Making life difficult. City unable to get out. Oh, it will be aided with a goal kick. Ever important day in this division. Well, beyond the halfway stage now, approaching its pointier end. As Leakopoulos went to intervene and lost out on that occasion. City have an opportunity. Calvanese, Bugias backed off in retreat. And their ball was errant, invited Runnels to go and win it. She went to switch for Lasky, who'd gone further forward. And charging rather in vain was Shilton to keep it in. As Habib set it back for Saris, returned all the way for Birchmore. Melbourne City side who in recent times have had one of the leakier defences in the division. Concession of 30 in their last 5 league games. 2 of those a set of 9 at Heidelberg at South Melbourne. A particular visit to Lakeside in recent memory, a very, very forgettable away day. Haven't really been able to right themselves throughout this campaign, gain any sort of momentum. Habib and Biggs linked up well, was threaded into the channel for Calvanese, who momentarily had a vested interest. Though was mopped up well by Templeman, who came charging out. Leakopoulos, Shilton, slid down the line for Samalaski, who kept it alive. In fact, wasn't quite able to retrospectively. I mentioned that run of 30 conceded in 5. Those on occasions, City have conceded 4, 9 in the league this season. Defence that hasn't locked down as frequently as they would have liked it to. Still awaiting a first league clean sheet, which they go in search of today. Also in search of a first league win. Leakopoulos cleared. Only as far as Biggs, had a vested interest momentarily. Lasky went and won it. Shilton had to clear. Habib, approached by Priya Arctican, who got a foot in. Tyson couldn't help it further forward. Runnels couldn't get it under control. As again, Saris forced a setback for Birchmore. Melbourne City wanting to adopt Patient approach. Play out on a surface this could prove tricky. Autumn has turned to winter out in this part of the world, and it's been quite a wintry start to it. Templeman, Tyson, Bugias, tidily done. Set back for Shadara. Now Leokopoulos. Measured for Tyson. It was done nicely. Lasky, Archdeacon. Lovely turn. Tyson couldn't help it further. Biggs intervenes. Archdeacon then went and won it back. Clipped it into the channel for Horton to give chase to. Oh, the touchline will beat her to it. Post wanting to make a quick start. And so far for Priya Archdeacon, who's started in that cup win at Craigieburn City in the week, has begun brightly. It's Habib. That's a sharp turn. City starting to just hit a bit of a groove. Calvinesi was sought out. Set back by Bugias. Shidara. Leokopoulos. Now Shilton. Pressed by Marandola. Was flicked on for Runnels. Again loss. And Runnels battling with one another. Melbourne City centre half so far has been able to keep her relatively quiet. Dustin momentarily pickpocketed. Rocco was one back and set back for Shadara. Calvinesi momentarily had a vested interest. Saris had to readjust. Habib flicked it on. Dustin was there to mop up. Shilton. Lasky. No way further forward. As Runnels again was searched for. Ball far too heavy. Loss was there to tidy things up. Saris. And down the line foot to Howe, who lost out. Bugias picked it off. Runnels allowed to turn. Loss came across the clear, only as far as Dustin, who rekindled. Now Lasky. Shilton had advanced momentarily. Just had a stumble. And when trying to go and win it back, gave away a free kick. Marandola just made life a little bit difficult. Second Shilton stumbled. On a surface that looks as though it could prove rather tricky today. Saris allowed to carry. Drawed it into Tyson. Habib set it back for Dehau, and Saris once more. Runnels went to press momentarily. Saris kept her cool. Birchmore finds Loss. Lovely ball to find Biggs, who was unable to go beyond Dustin. Either side able to really find a rhythm early on. Belated free kick. Lasky was dragged down. Alamein perhaps with an opportunity. Leokopoulos' take. Real chance to put Melbourne City on the back foot. Set up for Runnels, who got a flick. And Birchmore was able to get a good sight. And it didn't have too much pace or too much trouble. That is where they can look to be dangerous, though. This Alamein side. And so Bibb did well. And Calvanese unable to keep it alive. Tyson, Bugias, Shidara. Waited just for some space to open up for Leokopoulos. Shilton, who's touch a little heavy, and it took her out of play. This has the potential to be a bit of a moving day for both of these sides this season. Alamein are to go level on points with Burundara with a win. They would be within 2 of the top 4. And Horton was looking to go beyond and was only able to do so by impeding Duhau and giving away a free kick. You look on the flip side, if Melbourne City were to win today, not only would it give them much momentum, the gap to Keeler Park would only become 3, only 6 further behind Preston. Though they would have to do what any team that's made the visit here this season has not, and that's even pick up a point against Alamein. Lasky battled, Shilton then took over and lost out to Marandola before Lasky in retreat stopped her. Clip towards Brown. Bugias came across to ensure she couldn't make it work. Horton had one to chase and trickled out of play. Headed out by Tyson, just as Duhau looked to advance further. And that win last week for Alamein, it just steadied what's been a bit of a patchy few weeks. Defeats to Berlin and to Avondale that hampered a few hopes. 3 points got them back on the right track, though. We're hoping today can be similar. Horton's got one to chase in behind. Ronald's clipped it on. Horton on the slides! Flicked it just wide of the far post. Did wonderfully not to give up on the chance. And Zoe Horton was nearly rewarded for her industry with the opening goal. Was not far away. City hearts were in mouths momentarily. As Shidara set it on for Runnels. She's had quite the start. Header was with too much force for Archdeacon to recover. Tyson nodded it on for Lasky, who set it on for Shilton. She went early. Archdeacon got the flick. Horton unable to get there. Saris did well. Helped out for Biggs via Rako, who couldn't get it back. Archdeacon, Lasky, Tyson, Dustin, who was engulfed in sky blue. Leokopoulos, and that's a beauty of a ball. Bugias had advanced, clipped it dangerously. Flick on for Runnels from Archdeacon, just had a little bit too much on it. And Birchmore was quickly off to go and gather it. First time Alamein have really found a groove. Tyson presented an opportunity to win it back. Runnels found it out to Horton. Not necessarily how she would have liked, though. Zoe Horton can make it work. Has got beyond Duhau, clipped it into a dangerous area. Her bib was lurking, as was Lasky at the near post. Shout for hand, ball waved away. And in all the chaos, Ball was cleared into touch. Shidara set into the area again. Lost this time with a far less controversial clearance. Dustin's takedown invited Saris to clear. Horton had it one off hurt by Calvanese. Rocco Brown, who was met by Leakopoulos. And now Duhau once more. Saris. Runnels was lurking momentarily. Squeezed back to Birchmore. Loss, who went to thread it. Lasky got a boot on it. And it took enough off it for Brown that Lasky could win it the second attempt. Dustin, Leakopoulos. Shidara. Brown just went to go and press momentarily. Bugias, that's tidy. Shidara held the space, rolled it on for Runnels, who tried to set it off for Tyson or Archdeacon and couldn't. Went and won it back. Dustin clipped it on for Lasky to give chase. And Cornelia Loss was across. Flicked on for Biggs. And can't quite find Brown. Melbourne City unable to get out. Bugias with ample time. Looked to switch it for Dustin. Was unable to do so. The bounce for Hamilton, unfortunate. Was poked on by Biggs. Clipped on by Rocco. One up by Shilton. Lasky. Leakopoulos, who went with Loft into the channel. Loft flicked it on. Archdeacon unable to non it with enough force. Habib. Duhau. Calvanese. Biggs. Loss. Lovely clip on for Marandola. Shidara came to clear just as Calvanese had an interest. Biggs with a little bit of a loose touch invited Lasky to go and win it. Her touch in return and lost out. Shilton kept it alive. Runnels, that's a lovely touch. Archdeacon was dragged down and Alamein have a free kick. Still awaiting the opener. Pressure has slowly gathered on Melbourne City. They've withstood up until now. Free kick sent in on the slip. Bugias had an interest. It was awkward for Birchmore to go and claim. And Dustin, though, despite losing footing, put in a teasing delivery. Habib on for Duhau, who shifted away from Horton. Habib now once more. That's a lovely ball for Brown, who was unable to steer it for Calvanese. Covered by Bugias. Leakopoulos tried to spear it out for Lasky and only found touch. Dustin. Hamilton helped it on for Brown. Marandola gave chase for Leakopoulos. Templeman. That's well measured for Bugias, who had two to go round. Calvanese and Duhau shut the door. Couple of shouts for a free kick, which were turned down. Shidara on for Leakopoulos. Shilton. Again looks for Lasky, who got away from one. Dustin kept it rolling. Tiptoed away from one and then lost out. loss. Deacon put a foot in, but Biggs evaded her. Not once, but twice. Habib. Horton was there. Saris clipped it up for Dahau. And now Calvanese, who again had Bougias to go beyond. Set it back for Habib, who ran into Runnels. Tyson. Archdeacon. Habib's boot in. Bougias almost made it work. Rocco slide. Only found Dustin, who clipped it on for Lasky. Hamilton in retreat. Samalaski's got an opportunity. It's into the area. Habib dealt with it. Hamilton, Marandola. Rocco, Calvanese is motoring. And has been found in some space. Lovely ball to find her too. Calvanese on the charge. Bougias backing off. Calvanese away from two. Set back for Rocco to drive. And it was tamed for Templeman. Comfortably the best, though, that Melbourne City have shown in this game's opening patch. Shilton wanting to reply in kind. Gave Archdeacon one to chase. Biggs aware and saw it out of play. First throw of threat that Alamein had to withstand. Strike in the end wasn't maybe struck as sweetly as Isabel Rocco would have liked. There's Lasky. Tyson moved it on for Horton. Now Bougias. Patient for Shidara, who was encouraged to charge. Tyson for Leakopoulos. City happy to drop off. Shilton. And again, Lasky was stepped onto by Hamilton before she could go any further. Shilton's long throw. Ronald's flick on. Archdeacon set it off well for Dustin. Not once but twice! And the second effort belted wide. Lovely layoff. And Niamh Dustin, recently crowned Player of the Month, was close to yet another moment for her catalogue. And we're at one end merely minutes ago. City had come the closest they had. Alamein got their best look up until this point just then. Dahau with good footwork. Biggs. Habib swarmed on by Lasky, who had a drive herself first time and forced a good save out of Birchmore. Alamein corner. They are just starting to turn the screw. Corner whip with depth to the back post congregation. It fell for Tyson, who had her effort blocked in the chaos. Recovered by Bougias. Shidara, who speared it on smashingly. The flick on for Lasky, who just wasn't able to catch it cleanly. Super ball from Shidara to two who were waiting at the back post. Lasky latched onto it, though was unable to steer it troublingly. Shidara, Tyson gave it away. There's one back by Rocco. Marandola, Brown, Rocco, that's tidy. Now Calvinese. Who's again got Bugias to go at. Steered it teasingly towards the back post. Leokopoulos languidly launched a leg at it. And was maybe a fraction fortunate not to give away a corner. So easily it could have taken a ricochet. As Archdeacon battled with her bib and lost out. It's one on for Isabella Rocco to have a go. Dragged her effort wide. That is where, though, Melbourne City can cause problems. First time they've been willing to go and press Alamein. Space opened up invitingly for Rocco to have a go. And she just could not catch it clearly. That's been a real issue for Melbourne City this season. Going forwards, only Keilor Park and Bentley Greens, two in the mix with them, have scored fewer this campaign. And they come up against an Alamein side that have only conceded more than Bulleen and South Melbourne in the league. The same amount as top of the table Essendon Royals as well. Though they've had a couple of looks. Rocco in particular, with a pair of promising opportunities, unable to benefit. Here is Lasky at the other end, whipped in beautifully, and Runnels just couldn't steer it beyond. Gorgeous ball in from Summer Lasky. That was asking to be put away. Runnels just unable to apply the finishing touch for a game which had its first quarter of an hour proved to be rather cagey and rather tense. It has since opened up in quite a fashion. It's Leokopoulos moved on for Shilton. Down the line for Lasky. Tried to steer it for Runnels. Well read by Loss. Recovered by Tyson. On for Shidara. Bugias. Unable to place it into the path of Horton. To Howe. Good challenge by Horton. This time Calvinese. Away from one. Horton then tried to go. Calvinese hustled her. So Horton did rather well in the end. Tyson calmed it. Steered it down for Shilton. Lasky. Leokopoulos, who was pressed, went to clip it into the channel. And Runnels made the most of it. Laid it back brilliantly. And Birchmore prevented. Nodded off the line as well. Shilton was inches away and cleared off the line again by Saris. Birchmore there intervened. City clinging on by a thread. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Did the ball have to be prevented from finding the net? Bugias battled with Calvinese, who won out. And now City can go the other way. So Estelle Bugias' challenge was a brilliant one in retreat. Just for a moment, Alamein thought they had their opening on three separate occasions. Kira Saris cleared it off the line twice. And then Birchmore at the near post got down to prevent the third effort. Loss stepped in well. Rocco went to roll forward. Shidara coolly for Horton, who's got to how to go around, and Zoe Horton's done smashingly. Habib then slid in. Horton went to keep the move going. Though her ball forward was more in challenge than creativity. Much more afforded time. Calvinesi again with two to look at. Bougias again challenged to good effect. Shidara. Leakopoulos. Shilton. Lasky. Way beyond Hamilton just yet. Lasky eventually finds a way. And did so with a super spin. Stayed on the switch for Horton. And now Dustin's got room to drive. Two were in retreat. Dustin held them off. Archdeacon. Horton. Stel Bougias invited forward. Leakopoulos. Lasky, who had dropped in. Shilton went on the overlap. She couldn't be found. And was able to rekindle. Hamilton not getting the clearance she would have liked. And Leakopoulos now. Happy to get it back from Shidara. And again, look to launch for Lasky. That one with far too much force. Although it is a rather brisk Saturday afternoon, it's now one that's basked in sunlight. So far the football has been bright too. Alamein have knocked on the door. They have come closest. Melbourne City have withstood up until this point. Ricochet found Lasky, and Shilton was wanting it steered ahead of her rather than behind. Now, as it stands, Melbourne City won't mind this. Given away to Runnels. Dustin on for Horton. Bougias on the overlap, did brilliantly. Estelle Bougias had a drive. And it, like the late fade, needed to trouble Birchmore. Another in a multitude of opportunities for Alamein that have gone begging so far. Melbourne City opportunities fewer, further between. I've had a couple of good opportunities. Birchmore was patient, waited for Brown to drop off. Biggs left it for Habib. Hamilton steered it down the line. Marandola unable to keep it alive. Reynolds is flick on. Look for Priya Archdeacon once again. Across the clear was Saris. Get a long throw speared in. Flicked back by Runnels for Shilton, who's away from Marandola. Steered it in teasingly. Runnels' flick again. Lasky was lurking. Oh, it was one which was unable to be diverted dangerously. As again, Birchmore afforded time. Bugias and Calvanese again went to battle. Flung down the line for Horton, whose touch was a good one. Archdeacon waited that wonderfully. Horton's got in behind and fisted to the back post, where Lasky was waiting to steer in. A beautiful Alamein move, and it brings them the opening goal that had been coming. Lasky's at it again. And on an afternoon where 3 points may well be precious, Alamein have got the first step towards them. A super smooth move. The ball from Priya Archdeacon, just for Horton to run onto. Weighted to perfection. Lasky couldn't miss. Alamein, who'd had a couple cleared off the line, find themselves away ahead on a half where they had many a look. They must have wondered if the opportunities missed, maybe ones that they would come to root. Steered on by Dustin. Runnels couldn't win it. Tyson there to mop up. Archdeacon one more. Dustin, Bugias. Send it back for Shidara. Leakopoulos. Shilton. Lasky. Unable to turn down the line this time. Archdeacon won the flick on. That's a tidy return from Runnels. Saris kept her cool. Clipped it into Biggs. Now Rako. Leakopoulos lunged in well. Now Archdeacon's got room to go. Had a slip on the swivel. Dustin recycled to Shidara. Shilton. Well weighted into Dustin, who clipped it onto Runnels. Happy to recycle to Shidara once more. Bugias. Tyson. Good to help it towards Horton. Saris across. Bugias nodded away from Calvanese. Speared one teasingly. Marandola. Cleared only as far as Shilton. Stood it towards Dustin. Nodded away for loss. Ball was one which Brown couldn't get under. Leakopoulos got it back from Shidara. And then once more from Shilton. Shidara. Bugias. Alamein have just hit a groove. It took a little bit of time. So often, the opening goal releases any sort of shackles a team may be feeling. And the hosts have felt that release minutes since that opener. And there is Runnels now, picked on a loose ball. Clipped it out for Horton, who was happy to nod it for Bugias. Habib got a boot in. Horton was lurking. Archdeacon nodded it further forward. So back for Birchmore, who has had quite a bit to do in this half. Cleared only as far as Dustin. Through the legs of Duhau. Dustin then slid in. Habib recovered. Duhau worked to yards and then had a loose touch. Bugias's throw, Dustin bundled into and won a free kick. Opportunity to grab a second before the break. Dustin over it. Alamein 1 up, can make it 2. Dustin's free kick set to the edge. Runnels launched herself at it. Lasky will look to keep it alive and is unable to. Marandola quickly returned possession. City at times have been unable to help themselves. Another long throw, which Alamein win a corner from. It's been uncomfortable for Melbourne City to deal with as we head into 2 minutes of stoppage time towards the end of the first half, which for the hosts so far is halfway towards a momentous, potentially season-altering 3 points. Another Alamein corner. Leakopoulos' take with depth. Birchmore got a punch. Marandola cleared only as far as Tyson. Her ball was blocked by Brown. And we'll see it trickle out of play. Tyson once more. Only could clip it into touch. Duhau down the line. Shidara with loft. It's a good take from Tyson. Bugias. Shidara, as Brown was lurking, poked it on for Dustin. Shilton. Leakopoulos. Shidara happy to return it for Anna Leakopoulos. They will be happy to see themselves too. A break where Alamein, who had longed for a goal, found it as Archdeacon with a lovely turn away from 2. Shidara got it from Tyson, worked it out for Bugias. Looking for a late doubler. Runnels with a loose touch. Soris there to clear, and it will be the final act of a first half which started a little bit cagey, though found its breakthrough moments. Alamein had their chances. They had 2 cleared off the line. They wondered if one would come. Then, courtesy of Summer Lasky, her 5th of the campaign, steered them ahead. At the break, it's Alamein 1, Melbourne City 0.
not choke me, please. Ow.
Returning from half-time here in Alamein, and so far for the hosts, they are halfway to yet another Super Saturday down here. Melbourne City have got a bit to do if they are to not only pick up a second point on their travels in 2026, but perhaps pick up a first win on the road in the campaign. Alamein still yet to drop a point at their own patch. 45 from that continuing. Samalaski the difference so far. Alamein 1 up, and given how the first 45 went, they warranted it. Had a couple of opportunities cleared by some last-ditch Melbourne City defending. Oh, it was a bit of precision. Finally, they got the final ball right. Finally, the back post was free. And who else but Samalaski was there to steer it in. It was a half of control. A win today takes them to more promising ground in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Women's table. They can either top 4, if not only they are to keep things as they are, but if results are to go their way today. And Laski's on the march already. Samalaski, the angle was tight. It took a good effort, which stung the palms of Birchmore. Got away from Hamilton and Marandola. Final touch took her a little bit wide. The strike was sweet. There's Biggs battling. One on for Brown, well read by Shilton, who then got it back from Tyson. And Shilton can drive and steer it on for Lasky again. Hamilton in retreat. Samalaski flashed it across brilliantly. Runnels couldn't clear. Horton was lurking. Alamein shout for a penalty. That appeal waved away. Horton timed the run well. There certainly was contact. Though not enough to warrant a kick from the spot. Pressure on City mounting from the off. As Shidara switch for Shilton. Shidara once more. Who speared it on for Horton. She spun into Calvinese and Zoe Horton's just stayed down. Couple of concerns, Alamein looks. She thankfully back on her feet and is all right. Took it with haste. Early Alamein second half corner. Dustin's take, drilled dangerously. Reynolds and Shilton lurking. Loss got the final touch, will be another corner. Second successive set piece for the hosts. Who are looking to buy themselves some breathing room. Dustin take 2. Drilled to the near post this time. Ronald's flick, a good one. And Birchmore had to intervene. Freya Archdeacon just stormed across and made life awkward. Trio of corners in a trice. Lasky's take this time. So Lasky, dangerous whip once more. Leokopoulos set it, and Tyson steered it over. Late arrival was set back well by Leokopoulos. And the effort looped longingly over the bar. Another scare for City survived. As we take a little look around the Senol National Premier League Victoria Women's, as Birchmore just quickly was bundled into. Retrospectively, a free kick will be given. And this for Dalligor Birchmore looks rather uncomfortable. Runnels went to charge down late. I just caught her when she went to clear. That landing leg, the one clipped. Thankfully, she's all right. Back on her feet without any assistance needed, and now we can have a quick look around the other games that have kicked off in and around this time. 3:30 kick-off at Lakeside. Heidelberg 1 up away at South Melbourne. Very important afternoon for both of those two teams. Two who have had different fortunes in this campaign. Two sides who are looking to finish the season strongly. Both certainly in with a shout. And finals football in 2026. And Keilor Park, at the moment, are on course for one of the league shocks. They lead Bulleen a goal to nil as Horton is charging. Archdeacon was centrally, Loss came across. The second half just kicked off out in Keilor Park. Bulleen have got a bit to do. Essendon Royals currently held by Spring Hills. And in the other of the 3 o'clock starts, Avondale trail a goal to nil at home to Victory. In the meantime, Alamein lead 1-0. Lasky got up in the meantime. The flag was up on the far side for offside. But now, Alamein have another down behind play. Estelle Bougias, one getting back to her feet. Though with everything going on around, the magnitude of this game added more so. Will be close to the top 4 for Alamein if they are to win today. But for Melbourne City at the other end of the table, a weekend they can ill afford to drop points now, looking as though that could be compounded if things stay as they are out in Keilor Park. Birchmore again steered long. Leokopoulos misjudged momentarily. Shadara was composed. Bougias with Mary Brown charging. Horton. Dustin. Habib got a boot in. Tyson at the second time came through. No more time either to make signings. The Senol National Premier League Women's Victoria transfer window is now closed. Only one addition for Alamein. Chelsea Bissett came over from Melbourne Victory. Sent to Australia at many a youth level. Also from right on the banks of the Murray. Makes the venture down to Victoria's southeast. In the meantime, Marandola's in behind. Was away from Leakopoulos, who didn't get a touch. They'll be hoping, though, Alamein, that one of their new acquisitions, Blissett, comes with a lot of pedigree. City made 2 additions of their own. Aya Kador and Georgia Giuliani, who made the motion over from Bentley Greens. Looking to help steer them towards safety. Got an opportunity in the meantime. Fell well for Isabella Racco, who's had many a look this afternoon. That one for Templeman, though. Quite the comfy claim. Shadara for Ronalds, who was collected. And retreating was Kira Saris, who finds herself in the book. First yellow cards of the afternoon given out. City's number 6 just bundled into Runnels and then forced Racco, who was retreating, to add a secondary piece of damage. Nicopolis' take slid dangerously. Horton got a poke. Once again, he's just been able to catch De Hau off guard a couple of times. Has Zoe Horton this afternoon. Can they allow Birchmore to drive? Shilton nodded it on. Archdeacon was lurking momentarily and did superbly to win it. Shilton, Lasky, unable to steer it on the switch. And cut up by Racco. Brown went to leave it for Biggs, was read well by Leakopoulos. And now Anna Leakopoulos has got room. Steered it invitingly for Shilton, who knew she was going to surrender possession, but did so for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. Loss hustled immediately. Hamilton cleared it, Brown made it work. Steered it on for Racco. Bugias's slide timed well. Habib picked it up and steered it on for Calvanese, who got away beyond Dustin, though not Horton. Again for Calvanese, who worked to yards and only steered it into the palms of an eagerly awaiting Miranda Templeman as the angle got tighter. And Summerlasky was once more away from Hamilton, moved it on for Dustin. Find its way for Horton. Went to thread it into a channel where only Kira Saris was there. Got it back from De Hau. Bugias came across, flicked on by Biggs. Tyson not for Dustin. Ella De Hau went to search once again for Calvanese, and Bugias has had that particular battle in her favour majority of the afternoon. Shilton on for Lasky. Stood up by Hamilton. Speared on for Runnels. Her flick wasn't one which she was able to make contact with. Saris happy to set back. Loss. Hamilton, won by Lasky. Runnels with room to turn. Fancy to go herself. And Birchmore always had good sight and a calm claim. Habib clipped it on for Tuhau, who was out of room. And the first couple of changes for Melbourne City. Heidi Dry will make her way on. Tuhau's afternoon comes to its conclusion, as does Mary Brown's. She's replaced by Maya Capitanio. One of their leading scorers for another. Both set on 3 this campaign. It's been a campaign for Melbourne City in front of goal that's been rather fraught. As Bougias went to whip in and stumbled. Alamein wanted a free kick. They weren't awarded one for some earlier contact. Tyson was battling. It's threaded on for Biggs, who couldn't go beyond Shilton. Tyson's touch loose. Biggs won it back. Habib lost out to Horton. And now, room to drive. And Dustin is doing so. Threaded gorgeously for Lasky. Birchmore made a big save. And then her and Lasky were entangled. Alamein wanted a penalty. They won't get one. Horton continued the march. Way beyond Habib. But Dry came across to close the door. What a massive save that could prove to be. Birchmore gambled on Lasky not going round. And has maybe just kept Melbourne City in this game. Her clearance no further though than Leakopoulos. There's Horton. Steered it for Dustin. She was held up initially by Habib. Threaded it gorgeously for Horton. Who couldn't steer it beyond Saris. She couldn't clear further. Then Dustin, Tyson. Biggs. Dustin sliding into good effect. And Neve Dustin, again, unable to get beyond. Biggs moved it on for Calvinese, who had the ball trickle over the touchline. En route to a marauding run forward. Habib's flick, this time in retreat. Runnels nodded back for Bougias. Tyson with room to turn. Set it back for Leakopoulos, who waited on Archdeacon to drop off. Shilton. Lasky recovered well. Shidara. Bougias. Went to thread it, but wasn't able to thread it beyond Saris, who intervened. Priya Archdeacon, who has had quite an afternoon, once again, there to intervene. For a step back by Capitanio, able to be kept alive. Runnels tried to turn away from Saris. Wasn't able to on that occasion. Alamein en route to a 9th clean sheet in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Women's, and nobody in this division has kept more. for this side. Defence really the driving force behind their good form this season. And a back four that this afternoon so far have been rock solid. Biggs did well initially to evade Archdeacon. Moved it on for Hamilton, who couldn't steer it down the line. Shilton's long throw. Good run from Archdeacon, who got in behind. Hamilton in retreat, unable to get there. The flick was dangerous and needed intervention from Habib, whose clearance was mopped up by Shidara. Got it back inadvertently from Tyson. Horton steered it. Runnels set it off for Dustin. Moved it on for Lasky. So Malaski clipped towards the back post, and Birchmore made a good claim. Still knocking on the door for a second that may well seal it. Williams a setback this time. Biggs battling, Hamilton then across. Lasky making life awkward for loss, as was Archdeacon. Biggs unable to clear. Shidara fancied a drive. Habib there to intervene. Ricochet found Bugias. Leakopoulos went with haste. Shidara had two to contend with. Rocco won it and nodded it on for Calvanese. Want to thread it in the channel for Leila Habib, and Estelle Bugias will see it out of play for a goal kick. Two sides with entirely different tales this season. Alamein themselves have not necessarily been prolific. In front of goal, though, have been at home. Only the bottom three going into this afternoon had scored fewer. And the hosts 20 now 21. As Archdeacon able to go beyond Calvanese. Habib forced to find touch. Runnels lost out. And Calvanese can charge. Capitano was beyond, though she slipped and stumbled, which allowed Leakopoulos to win it. Now Dustin, who threaded it on for Horton smashingly. Two arriving, one of whom was Lasky. It was a little bit behind her. Archdeacon will keep it alive. Hamilton in retreat momentarily. Shilton with loft. Runnels header. Birchmore, a comfy claim. Again, Capitano looking to battle. Again, stumbled. Shilton on the charge the other way. Tried to thread it for Lasky. Was read well in the end by Loss. Biggs steered it on foot, Marandola. Loss once again was charged out. Capitano, who set it back for Hamilton and then got it back. And now moved it on for Saris. Rocco had Marandola charging. Steered it early, behind Capitanio, cleared away by Bugias. Horton lends a helping hand, and it'll break now. Archdeacon to drive. Two going beyond her, one of whom was Horton, and lost it well in retreat to open the door for Birchmore to go and gather it. And she might have been unfortunate to wear one on the follow-through as well. And now another two Melbourne City changes can be made. Marandola makes way, as does Ella Hamilton. Liliana Lamai coming on. As one of the substitutes. See if there is a late injection for an equaliser from either of them. Cavanese will switch flanks. City know time is just starting to run away from them. Ava Shopping. The other change to be made. Not only have they got a game, potentially their season to go and save. They just start now to turn an eye on to who remains to season close. Given away to Priya Archdeacon, away from two wonderfully, and had her effort blocked by Loss. Clearance no further than Bugias, who had Chopping to contend with and couldn't. Melbourne City nearly architects of their own downfall. Birchmore's ball a little loose. And it nearly, ever so nearly, cost them. And you just think of what is to come for them. If they are to go and rescue some points. Of course, they've got Box Hill in the cup next week out at Casey, before a trip to Bulleen and Avondale, Keeler Park. A massive game on the road, and Melbourne victory. All to come in the following month and a bit. A month which really makes or breaks their campaign. They are still not out of this. There's Saris. It's it back for Habib, who had dropped in. Clipped into Rako, who only found Dustin. Shilton. Charged down by Calvanese. And in the end, happy to clear. An equally as big month, though, on the horizon for Alamein, who are in behind here with Runnels. She can surely seal it, and does. That may well be that. Ruthless. City not best pleased. Though Alamein are on the charge to 3 massive points. Top 4 in sight, they are 2 from it. And in fact, we may just have to hold on. There's a conversation retrospectively going on. The goal stands. The goal stands. They'd been pressing for the entirety of this half. for a goal that gave them a bit of breathing room. They have gone and sought it, they have found it. And it may be one for a team chasing finals in 2026 that just reaffirms those credentials. Surging ball in the meantime for Calvinesi. City wanting to get one back in quick reply. Out across was Templeman with haste. That second goal, one of insurance. It's Runnels again, went and won it. And moved it on for Bugias. Lovely footwork from Estelle Bugias. Set back by Tyson, who recycled. Runnels had dropped in. Gorgeous ball for Bugias, who'd advanced. And again gave Horton one to chase. She went to fizz one in on the slide again. And that one only steered into the side netting. Just how massive will this prove to be for Alamein, who have got a pair of important away days to follow this. Teams at different ends of the table. They go to Essendon Royals before Bentley Greens. Their next home game against Preston. Before a pair of fixtures of two teams that are in and around them. Heidelberg away, South Melbourne at home. That's massive for a top four finish, though. Capitano is looking to make life awkward and wins a corner. City not done yet. Time not necessarily their friend. If they are to get back into this game, they have to do so in quick time. Whipped in by Rako. Templeman came to claim and spilt it. And what a free kick, as she was the recipient of a bit too much contact. Nicopolis, Long, Horton, and a good take. Lasky, Tyson, Shilton, who did well to tiptoe away from trouble. And it's steered on for Archdeacon, who had many a yard. Summer Lasky on the swivel. Bushmore spilled. And only just prevented a corner. Almost a disastrous moment for the City shot stopper. Shadara across. Alamein perhaps prepping a couple changes of their own now. Bugias went early for Lasky. Lemaish got up. Had nodded it away for an Alamein corner. One more would truly settle it. There's a real bit of grappling on the edge of the area. Capitano had a lot of runnels. Corner set to the back post for Shilton, who was unable to get on it. And Alamein are really not best pleased about this. And they want the opportunity to make a couple of changes. They will do. And they know we'll get that chance. And Emma Runnels, who was the recipient of some contact, has her afternoon perhaps not yet reached its conclusion. Certainly Dakota Tyson does. The Inquisition is still ongoing. And Runnels will now make way. Couple of changes. Matilda Lowry, one of the two. And Miller Ralph, the second of a pair of Alamein substitutes, who know the time is ticking away to see this one out. In the meantime, City are looking to just throw a spanner in the works. Chop in, unable to. Now Bugias, tidily done. Shidara, nowhere beyond her bib. Isabella Rocco trying to make it happen, wins a free kick. They are approaching now or never territory if they are to claw themselves back into this game. Saris's free kick with depth. Capitano was on her own and has dragged one back. Now then. Not in the Alamein script. Melbourne City have got a pulse. And for Maya Capitano, second half substitute has not only halved the deficit, has got them right back in it and ensured that it will be a nervy finish. It just puts a pep in the City step. Dustin did well to steer out of trouble. Gave Horton one to chase. Zoe Horton got onto it. Just as Dry was looking to see it out of play. Capitano's fourth league goal of the season, though. If they are to go and pinch something from this, it might just be our most important. There is still one for Melbourne City to get. Dustin, when Bugias wasn't able to find her. This a test of the Alamein nerves. Dustin with height. Saris unable to get away. Archdeacon on the charge. On the overlap was Horton, who clipped it into the arms of Birchmore. Waiting too was Ralph to get on the end of it if there was spillage. Habib for Biggs, who's away from two. Clipped it on for Chopin. And Bugias got the challenge in. Flick on from Isabella Rocco. That's Chopin who has made things happen. Horton's clearance ricocheted. Melbourne City corner. Having already pinched one back, could they go and complete the turnaround in next to no time? Last delivery, awkward. Harboured a goal to get them back in the game. Corner with depth. That's a good claim from Templeman. Terrific gather. And she may have, in fact, done so at personal cost. This looks rather nasty for the Alamein shot stopper. Looks like a horribly awkward landing. Both managers using this as an opportunity to address their respective playing groups. And for Miranda Templeman, a horribly awkward landing. Thankfully she's back on her feet. Kate Bean is the other goalkeeping option on the bench. She was momentarily getting ready. There is still quite a look of concern on the Alamein bench. Templeman to continue this time, and she searched long for Miller-Ralph, fell for Dustin. Shilton momentarily overlapped, set back for Shidara. Ralph, Dustin, lost out to Calvanese. Did it on for Rako. Leakopoulos lunged in, and for it, Anna Leakopoulos will get herself a yellow card. She was late. Another set-piece test that perhaps could give opportunity for Melbourne City. Alamein nerves being clinged to. Saris's free kick. Clipped dangerously, though Templeman was there to claim it. Calvanese momentarily was interested. Templeman long, anywhere will do at this point in time for Alamein. Bugias up. A bit flicked it on. Dustin. Clever nod for Horton, who was all about yardage and rewarded for it. Flung down the line. Archdeacon had 2 to battle with and did well once again. Bugias hooked it for Horton down the line. Heidi Dry in retreat. Could only find touch. Alamein have it where they want it. Throw in for Dustin, who did brilliantly. Steered it on for Horton, though she may very well have been coming back from an offside position. Was cleared in the end by Dry. It's time for Ralph. Lost out to Habib, who's away from one wonderfully. Steered it for Capitanio. Shidara in retreat. Maya Capitanio did superbly. Another change, perhaps in the offing. There's Capitanio, battle with Bugias. Horton there to lend a hand and clear. Bugias to Nolloway. Dry Wanted to go and claim it. And another substitution for the hosts. Samalaski will have her afternoon ended. She got this all going for Alamein. Replaced by Jordan Tom's wedge. For the time that remains. And the time that does remain, about to be unveiled. 5 additional minutes for Melbourne City to save themselves, for Alamein to see off. Archdeacon clipped it for Horton, who could only find touch. And for Jordan Tom's wedge, introduced late into the fray and scored in the 5th minute of stoppage time, last time here in the league. Alamein will be hoping she can do similar, as that would certainly seal 3 points for them. For now, the finish is nervy. Loss on for Biggs. No way beyond Tom's wedge.
Sorry.
Capitanio. Leila Habib. Set it back for Saris, who had to retreat all the way to Birchmore. Her ball cut out by Dustin, who's not only found Habib. Dry. Lost out on that occasion. Horton charging. Archdeacon wanting to provide a menacing run. She went and won it back this time. Priya Archdeacon on the charge. Alamein won't mind that. Bugias banked in the corner along with Horton. 2 in sky blue. Many go tumbling. Chaos by the corner flag. Another Alamein throw. Horton this time. Seen over the line. Melbourne City know they have to get a move on. And Alamein wanting to change, maybe to slow the game down more so than anything. Bugias nodded one she knew not much about. Shadara slid in. Tom's wedge came through. The ricochet found its way to Archdeacon. Had her bib to go round. Dry got a foot in. They can now make that change. One final Alamein roll of the dice. Harriet Lowry comes on for Zoe Horton, who's had quite an afternoon. One of real menace down the right-hand side. Played her part. Rolled wide of the far post in the opening quarter of an hour. Could have got this going for them quickly. Was a thorn in the side initially. Of Marandola and to Howe, and then of Heidi Dry since she's come on. Alamein know they are close. Capitanio. Shilton's challenge tidy. Ralph was lurking. Thumb long. Bugias intervened. Rocco picked it up. Steered it on for Chopin, who nearly had an opening. One last Melbourne City look then. You suspect a final go to go on and pinch something. Rocco. Nowhere beyond Bugias. Anywhere will do. Capitano only nodded it on to Ralph. A set back for Capitano to drive. Shadara blocked this time. Shopping without a weight further forward. Lowry's intervention crucial. And so on an afternoon, they may have survived the test. Alamein can set their sights on a charge towards the top four. Bougias belted it away. Ralph will get on the charge. Set it back for Dustin, who tried to bully away beyond the lots. Loss poked on for one last go. Biggs on the drive. Calvinesi was causing a problem, though she was offside. They've closed out many a close one at this place this season. Nicopolis long. Biggs nodded on Shilton. It fell for Biggs. Tom's wedge across critically. Lowry for Ralph. Ricochet will find its way out of play. Dustin down the channel. Ralph will give chase and win the race. Oh, a touch too heavy to take it out for a goal kick. There's one glance at the watch. They are oh so nearly over the line. Thumb long, and that'll do it. Alamein hold their nerve. A perfect home seasonal record continues. This far less comfy, though, than the ones that came before it. They were 2 up and seemingly steering towards a very comfy and crucial 3 points. Samalaski got them going before, in the second half, Emma Runnels made it 2. Maya Capitano pulled one back for Melbourne City, who threatened to go and spoil the script, though in the end, unsuccessfully, was their challenge. Alamein go within 2 points of the top 4. They can eye a really important finish to their campaign. Full time out at Alamein. It is Alamein 2, Melbourne City 1.